it feels like a perfect time to revisit the JT Realmuto trade and preview the series ahead. Dave Shaw, UK Phillies, one of the UK GOATs, is in the house on today's Locked On Marlins.
You are Locked On Marlins, your daily podcast on the Miami Marlins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Greetings from England and welcome to Locked On Marlins. This is your daily Marlins podcast. Of course, with me, Peter Pratt. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, guys. Of course, at Miami Marlins _UK. Don't forget the underscore. There's another Miami Marlins UK. These pretenders, what's going on? Anyway, if you are listening, please subscribe to the pod. It's a daily pod. There's 5 episodes a week, guys. Hit subscribe and it just drops onto your device. If you are watching, hello, greetings. Welcome to my living room. And hit subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, you will see I have a guest. I've already teased it out. Dave Shaw, back on Locked On Marlins, UK Phils. Dave, how we doing, brother?
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me back on. Good evening, Pete. Good evening, everybody listening and watching. Hope you're all good. Usually I'm a bit more buoyant when I've come on these shows, but it's September, Phils, and I'm nervous, Pete. I'm nervous.
I can feel it. I can feel the nervous energy kind of coursing through the microphone. Last time we spoke, if I recall correctly, and I may have missed one, but I think the last time we spoke was post-game after the Stubbs bomb walk-off, if I recall.
Yeah.
You were hyped.
Man, that feels like so long ago when times were so good. We were hot. Yeah. September feels is well and truly kicking in. The Bob Nightingale curse is real.
Oh, it is. I saw that.
Yeah, man. What? Seriously, Bob, stop it. Just leave us alone. He hasn't tweeted about us all season. And ever since he tweeted that, Casty's gone down. Suarez has gone down. We haven't won. We've looked terrible. We've been blown out. And September feels is in full swing.
Oh, my days. This does not sound positive for a team that's 73-61 in the wild card 2 spot. Guys, listen, Marlins fans listening, we've won 55 games this year. We're absolutely terrible. Our heads are in the bin. Listen to Dave. This is a team in the wild card 2 spot.
All right. Look,
his head's gone.
Look. The Phils haven't had a winning September since 2017. We've had some incredible collapses in September, which has cost us postseason every single time. So we have right to be nervous heading September. When the calendar flicks to August 25th, you start looking at September going, oh boy, here we go. Are we going to get a usual NOLA September? We're going to get a usual September. I think last season we had the easiest schedule in MLB. We just had to go 500 in the season on the month, and we blew it. We blew so many games against you guys, the Cards, the Nationals. And it's happening again. Now, the pitching's gone to pot. Hasn't helped. Wheeler's gone down injured, and we don't even have a return to him at the moment. Suarez has gone back. What was the stat? I think the Phillies starters have combined for 7 innings in only 3 of their last 17 games.
Oh boy. They're lacking length.
The bullpen's getting blown up to bits, overused. Sir Anthony's gone on the IL. He's back soon. Eflin's due back, but probably going to play a bullpen role. We're calling up kids from the minors in just desperation. Guthrie's come up. Did not expect to see him for another year or so. We're throwing everything at this. It cannot happen. We haven't beat the Giants since 2013 in San Fran. That continued. The House of Horrors in Arizona continued. Oh, my God. The Phils is a constant roller coaster, Pete. They don't make it easy.
This is absolutely sensational stuff. But, Dave, hold on a minute. Let me just make you feel a little bit better about things now.
Come on, Pete. I need it.
The Marlins right now, just to kind of call it out, in case you missed it, because you're probably not following us that closely, we've lost 7 in a row. 7 in a row. The last 4 games, we've only scored 1 run in each game.
7 in a row when they played us. Then they swept us. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing to this team. Look,
my days.
In fairness, and no offense to your offense, but it's not good. That's being nice. Your offense is. If Nola can't go 7 tonight,
and
he needs to. We need we waited 5 years for Nola. September Nola. He's been fantastic all season. Last outing, he got absolutely blown up. We need Aaron Nola to finally step forward in September and put this hoodoo, whatever this is, his curse, this September Nola aside, at least go 7 and ideally not even allow a run because he needs it for himself, for his own self-confidence. We need it. We've got to win. Like tonight, it sounds dramatic, but it's a must-win game. We've lost.
Oh boy,
we won one out of 6 on the West Coast. We're coming back to the Marlins, then the Nats, then yourselves again. 9 games where we've had no problem all season so far. We've got to start on the front foot tonight. If we can't, and we got Sandy on the game 3, which is a tough one.
Yeah.
We've got to win these first 2 games just to get some momentum going again, get some belief back because the fan base is squeaky bum time, you know. Some have already gone. They've gone. Two losses in September. I've seen fans already jumping ship. They're on to the Eagles.
Oh my days. This sounds absolutely wild. I'm gonna make sure that I up my Philly fan following on Twitter. I want to feel and see this pain. Jesus Luzardo's going for the fish tonight.
Yeah,
how have the Phillies been faring against lefties? Because the Marlins are historically bad against lefties. I'm intrigued to know where the Phillies are up to.
Hit and miss. It depends what offense turns up, mate. It honestly, there's no consistency with this offense. Like the D-backs, we blew them out 18-7 against a lefty or lefties as they kept going through their bullpen. And then we got blanked against the Giants who put a lefty out on the mound. So it's so inconsistent. There's no consistency. You know, Bryce coming back. I really thought, as we all thought, when Bryce comes back, this is it. Here we go. And we've won 1 game since he's come back out of 6.
Oh dear.
It's been tough.
The curse is real.
Well, yeah. And is it because the players have gone, hey, Bryce is back. We can step off a little bit and let him take more of the slack? Because when he was out, they were fighting. They were really fighting to step up. And now he's come back. It's as if they've gone, whoa, okay, Bryce is back. Here we go. We're going to do this. Getting a bit complacent, maybe. I don't know. It's sort of how it's coming across, which is why this series at home against a team that are usually our bogey team. This year, we've done a lot better against yourselves. But
yeah,
we got to just get the bats going again. You know, Reese is going a bit hit and miss. JT's on fire. Stott's on fire. And he's not starting tonight. I don't get it. Do not have a clue. Him and Segura should be 1 and 2 in our lineup, to be honest. Schwarber's just a waste. You know, even when he's hitting home runs, it's solo bombs. Get him down the order.
Good point.
Segura and Stott, they're both on fire. What a partnership defensively they've been this year. And in the lineup, they've got this chemistry that it's just working like Utley and J-Roll had. It's beautiful to watch. It's blossoming. And then he's bloody platooning Sosa, who can't hit a bloody beach ball at the moment. And he's in for his defense, which has been immaculate at times, incredible. But even he's now dropped off the ball a little bit as well defensively. Thanks, Keith Hernandez, for the voodoo on that, by the way. We were fine defensively until he brought that up, and now we've gone to pot as well with that. But it's I'm too gloomy. What's going on? Right, JT, let's talk JT.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm not going to let you get into this trade. I need to. You're talking about guys returning back from injury, and so let's just briefly bring the Marlins fans that are tuning into this one some updates. The main update, guys. Avisail Garcia, the big boy, the big free agent signing is back. He's been activated. Peyton Burdick, the corresponding move down to AAA. Burdick underwhelmed in his time up. Avi is up. He has been struggling in his rehab start to AAA. So Avisail Garcia, the big free agent acquisition, who's had a real struggle and has now struggled at AAA, is back up, straight back in the lineup here. The lineups are just out. He is also straight back into the cleanup spot. So Avisail Garcia,
we know
baby.
What's coming tonight now.
Yes, sir. I mean, if this is, and actually the lineup today it's an interesting one. It's very vet heavy. There's a lot of familiar names to like Phillies fans be like, oh yeah, John Birdie, Wendell,
Philly killer,
Brian Anderson, Miggy Rose in there in the 8 hole. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a familiar looking lineup. You've got, Lewin Diaz playing first base, but other than that, and JJ Bleday at center field, there's a lot of familiar names, a lot of vets in this lineup, which I think is very intriguing, considering the Marlins are in full evaluation mode right now. We're trying to look to 2023, get our eyeballs on some of these prospects. And well, we've just optioned one of them. And then we're going a vet heavy lineup. Interesting approach for the Fish. Jesus Luzardo going on the mound. What about from a Phillies perspective, mate? You've mentioned there's a couple of new guys up. Bryce is back. Bring us up to speed with like Phillies roster news. Who's up? Who's delivering right now?
We're due Sir Anthony back, which will be huge for the bullpen, which has just been overworked, like I said earlier. Castellanos should be back soon. Relatively fresh. Efford's been out for a long time. He's like to come out the bullpen because they got no time to start ramp him up as a starter. Suarez got pulled out the last game with the trainer. He needs an IL stint because he looks fatigued. Just give him some rest. Wheeler, we hope is due back next week. They should all be back and relatively fresh, which is key. Because they look overloaded. Roster wise, we don't see enough of Nicky Maton. We keep persisting with Sosa. Harper's back. JT Verling having to cover for Castellanos at times. Good average, good with the bat. Defensively, it's the inconsistency. I want to be more positive, but it's just I'm nervous, guys.
I can sense it.
It's what it is. If we can take 2 out of 3 against you guys, it's back on. We're okay. Here we go. This is the real test for the Phillies. Are we the same Phillies that we had with Kapler and Girardi since 2017, when we have completely bottled September's in our postseason, or is this different to those teams? Is this Thompson's Phillies, where we're a different team as we look on paper and as we should be a genuine, decent wild card team? This next week's going to tell. Yourselves, Nats, Marlins should beat you all 3 series on paper. That's all we need. 2 out of 3, because the Brewers are going to keep dropping series, especially with the Yankees and Mets coming up for them next week. This is it. This is it right now. Which Phils have we got? Last 5 years, or are we going to finally break that 11-year drought?
I think from a Phillies perspective right now, those 3 series you just mentioned, 2, I guess, bookending a Nat series again with the Marlins. So you've got 3 series in a row against what are really below par teams right now. And in different ways. The thing is, for the Fish, you're still going to get good quality starting pitching. So from an offensive perspective for the Phils, you'll probably be in 1 or 2 of the games shut down. But this Marlins offense is so bad that if you can scratch 2 to 3 runs, you're probably winning the game. Like, that's just the MO of the Marlins.
And I'll take it, Pete. I don't care how these wins come. I think we're all in the same boat now as Phil's fans. Just win the bloody games. I don't care how scrappy they are. I don't care if they're classic 1-0s, as we say in football. We'll take the 1-0. It's just get the wins. Get the momentum going again. This September's all about momentum, building momentum going into a postseason. We can't limp along the line. Just get the job done. I'm hoping where your offense is not great, our starters can start going 6-7 innings again and giving our bullpen a bit of a rest and try and find some consistency, which we've lacked a lot in this last week or so. But it's the Marlins. You've always been our bogey team these last few years. So it adds that horrible curveball, and now it's the Marlins in September.
I do really fancy Nola to absolutely go bananas tonight. Although I have seen the weather looks a little bit changeable. Like, I've seen some weather reports.
I think there'll definitely be a rain delay. Personally, I hope it's a double header tomorrow and they cancel it tonight just to give the bullpen a bit extra rest and the pitching a bit extra rest.
And a UK friendly, right?
Yeah, but we haven't won our last 9 UK friendlies.
Oh boy, I thought it was bad being a Marlins UK friendly.
Really, including the 6 o'clockers, the 9 o'clockers. We haven't won our last 9 now.
Days. More pain for the UK Phils. What do they do? Do they just on that? I was talking about on yesterday's episode. What do the Phillies do? Those kind of day games from a lineup perspective, is it chop and change? Do they get a lot of like roster?
JT changes and Stubbs comes in. Those Stubbs are great. It's been more than we could ever imagine out of Garrett Stubbs.
Catches to be expected, but like, is it pretty much still the studs playing on those UK friendly games?
They're Schwarber will still be at leadoff. Hoskins, same lineup. Hoskins and then Harper, Bohm, Harper. Bohm's been at a sensational 43 multi-hit games this season. He's been unreal.
Nice.
Absolutely unreal. Under the radar, because he's not a spectacular hitter. He's not hitting bombs. He's not hitting home runs, but gets on base multiple times. Just can't get him home. Story of our season. Can't get him home. Stranded will be the yearbook title.
I like it.
But yeah, we're constantly playing. I think Thompson's just constantly putting them out there, hoping that they're going to click. Because like we saw against the Diamondbacks, when we got 18 runs past them, when it clicks, there's no easy outs. The lineup's lethal, and we had depth, but consistency.
The problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get the ad done, and then we'll wrap up with a few other themes and topics. We need to, of course, revisit the Realmuto trade, as we always do when we speak, and that has to be done. And so
flowed as well.
It definitely has. I've got a view on that now, so we'll get the ad done. We'll dig into that, and then we'll kind of wrap up with the pitching matchups for this series. So, guys, it's a US ad with a British twist, and it's our good friends over at Built Bar. And here's the question: have you tried those puffs? Have you tried Built Bar's puffs yet? If you haven't, you are depriving yourself of one of life's greatest joys. It is a big claim. And guess what? There's a new flavor. Ready? Delicious, indulgent cookie dough covered in chocolate. That's right. Built has done it again. Let me introduce you to your new favorite, cookie dough chunk puffs. Yep, I said that right. Cookie dough chunk puffs. Light and chewy texture and real cookie dough chunks. And of course, covered in 100% real chocolate. All the joys of eating cookie dough without the hassle of making it. Plus, it's healthy. How about that? Cookie dough chunk puffs, they're only 160 calories. And they have a whopping 15 grams of protein in them. Sounds absolutely sensational. If you are liking what you're hearing, and frankly, why wouldn't you be? Get yourselves over to built.com. You can use promo code LOCKEDON15. That gets you 15% off your order. Reminder, the promo code is LOCKEDON15, LOCKEDON15 at built.com. All right then, Dave. I know you must be licking.
It's ice cream. How much are they? How much is shipping over here?
They don't ship to the UK, would you believe? They sound sensational, don't they?
Hey, mate, you've got my appetite going on.
I know, mate. Tell me about
Build's ice cream.
Tell me about it. Wait, tune into tomorrow's episode, mate. There's a good ad queued up. It's I believe some male Viagra stuff going. So we'll get you into those. Anyway, folks. I'll get you into those. All right, Dave, the Realmuto trade. Realmuto's back, and he's having a good year, actually. Of course, this seems like a slam dunk for the Phils. Nevertheless, however, Sixto Sanchez, I would just kind of update you. I've been thinking about this myself the other day, and I have a feeling that Sixto, my gut feel is that Sixto ends up retiring without playing again for the Marlins. I feel like he may even have to retire from baseball. I feel like the injuries have gotten that bad. And there's only so many times you can keep rehabbing, right? Like, where you kind of just go, do you know what? I'm not sure I'm up for it. I think he's 24, so he's still relatively young, but it's 2 years out now for Sixto. It's injury after injury. His elbow is shoulder, and gut feel is, it won't happen immediately. But I'm going to put it out there that I think that Sixto ends up just walking away from baseball, from the Marlins and baseball itself, and going, I'm out of here. I don't think the shoulder can do it anymore, which would be really sad. Like Sixto in 2020, when he burst on the scene, mate. And that was it, right? Realmuto was doing his thing for the Phils. Sixto arrived for the Marlins. Alfaro had already kind of been there knocking around anyway. And everyone was like, love it. Sixto, absolutely electric.
Yeah.
How quickly it's turned around for him and soured is just, it's wild. But these things can happen with injuries, right? Where guys just get hurt. You never see them again.
It doesn't matter what player, who they play for. You got to feel for him and what he's going to be feeling, because he had the world at his feet or the world at his arms. He was his stuff, his potential. We all saw in the minors was, we knew, and even at the time we made that trade, a lot of us were like, "Oh, this is a big call," because Sixto's gonna be up there. He's gonna be one of those pitchers where, like, for years as well, he had the stuff of like he's gonna be around for a long, long time, dominating lineups. It's a shame. Yeah, maybe Phils have won the JT trade, but at that cost, you don't really want to win it like that, do you? And we haven't won it. It's by default, and it's horrible for Sixto, and it's, as I say, for any player. But he's 24. It depends how he. I think this rehab, is he in rehab now, or is he still out recovering?
He was rehabbing to a point, and then recently has stopped the rehab and something else has gone on. But he basically hasn't been pitching in any kind of live game at any kind of level since 2020. So even in the minors, he's been rehabbing for 2 years and hasn't appeared in any minor league game or anything like that to that level. And the videos that have appeared of him, on Insta and stuff or whatever people put out, it literally looks like, a fat uncle in the back garden trying to throw a ball. Like
God, he was so lean.
I know.
I can't imagine with any
It's
weight
sad.
on.
It's like, he's pumped and it like the throw motion doesn't look good and he's just soft tossing.
No, you got to think as well, when you've had the same injury twice, it's kept you out for so long. That will even if he gets back pitching, that will always be on the back of his mind. He'll never fully focus on pitching because he's always that one little bit of him be thinking, "Oh, did I just feel something?" Even if he didn't, there'll be that paranoia of, "Oh, did I feel a strain? Was that my shoulder? Is that?" It'll always be like a footballer, who keeps tearing their Achilles or a hamstring. That constant injury. It's always on your mind. They're never the same player when they come back because, and they say it when they retire, you've always got that one little bit in your mind that just stops you going into challenges because you think, oh, what if I get injured? And maybe Sixto won't throw as hard because he's worried of, oh, what if I start feeling things? The mental side of it as well is just. It must be horrible because, like I said, he such potential. It was unbelievable. And just imagine a fully healthy Sixto in your lineup.
I know.
Sandy, Luzardo, Lopez. It's lethal.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's it's tough because you trade away the best catcher in baseball, and he was when he was at the Marlins, and he's continued that with the Phils. So to do that, where listen, there's not a ton of those kind of types of catchers knocking around, and to then get back a real high upside, major league ready arm, but effectively see him for 7 starts, and that's all you get out of it. Like it's really unlucky for the Marlins and the organization that's the way it went.
On the JT side of it, he's been, I remember March and April when people were going, oh no, where's and I was one.
He was slow out the blocks, wasn't he?
I was
Stubbs,
I was worried. Stubbs was the man, yeah, Stubbs A. And I was worried about JT. I wasn't down on him. I wasn't writing him off, but I was like, yikes, this is far from the catcher that we know. But since May, he's been unreal. Best catcher in baseball. His stats are unreal. What an athlete he is as well. The amount of stolen. He's never been caught stealing. I think 15, 16 now stolen bases this season, not been caught once. He's an absolute pro behind the plate. Unreal. He's just been invaluable to us from both sides of the plate. He'll be massive. He tied the game up against the Giants in Game 3. Bottom
he
of
did.
Top of the
3-run bomb, wasn't it?
3-run bomb, 3 runs down. JT pulled it out, and that was a big thing from last year. Runners in scoring position, JT was nearly always a guaranteed out. He just couldn't get the runners home. Now he's one of the few ones that can get the runners home with runners in scoring position. He's sort of carrying us a little bit at the moment, but he's definitely stepped up, and he's been a complete joy to watch. He's in his prime years, that's for sure.
That is true. Just before we round up on the pitcher matchups, just give us the scouting report of Lewis Brinson for the Giants, who made his return to the major leagues. The Giants, since Brinson has been traded for and then promoted, they're 4-0. Brins last night with 2 bombs. It was against the Dodgers, not against the Phils, but.
Yeah, I saw that. I was up early and watching that game and saw Brinson hit his second. And
there you go.
He fits, as I said before the show, he fits the Giants perfect. He fits Kapler perfect. I think that's a great Kapler move, actually. I think the Giants are very shrewd on that one, getting him in. He looks like, when he steps up for that first at bat and he goes, ex-Marlins, usually does hit against us.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. Straight onto second base. Brinson just looked like he'd been playing there for a long time. He's just settled right in. He's hitting the ball well, looked very confident, running the base paths well, defensively sound. He's going to be a good player for the Giants. He really is. I'm surprised that. So, you watch him with the Giants at the moment. You're surprised that you let him go. You're thinking, what the Marlins doing here? Letting Brince go. How long he holds it for? Because is he trying to impress the Giants to get a better contract? Obviously, he wants somewhere to play stability next year. Who doesn't want to play on the West Coast? It's. I'd rather play there than somewhere like Cincinnati. He's playing for a spot. But the way he started, it's been unreal. Absolutely unreal. Fair play to the guy.
Me too. Absolutely loving that. And Brinsanity is in full swing again.
I was thinking of you spoiling people. When I saw Brinson at the second ball, I thought, when Pete sees this, he's going to love it.
I was definitely tagged into multiple tweets, I would say. It's fair to say this morning. I was like, I know something's happened here, and I don't know what. I was like, either someone really likes the pod and a video, or something's happened, and it was Brince hitting some bombs. It's great to see. Okay, so 3-game set. We've already mentioned Nola and Luzardo going tonight, which should be a really fun matchup, actually. Nola, I would expect to go deep. Luzardo will be trying to do the same. Let's look at Wednesday's game, though, because this one, 2 lefties look like they're going. Trevor Rogers for the Marlins. He's back after an IL stint. There was a phantom IL to go and give him a bit of like breathing room. Yeah. And he's come back with a bang, which is great.
Yeah.
Folter going for the Phils, though. So he's also
Bailey
a lefty.
Folter, the best pitcher on the team at the moment. Who would have had that going into September? He went 6 good innings. He's a guy who we expect just to fill a few innings. You know, not expecting much. Got rocked a little bit in his first few outings. We thought, at least he's not here for that long. And now it's in Bailey Folter we trust. He's leading this, keeping this rotation afloat. Went a good 6 innings last game. Really, his command is what's got him there now. The vast improvement already. He's throwing strikes, which is a rarity for this rotation at the moment. The amount of walks we gave away in the West Coast road trip. We need Bailey to not falter.
There you go.
Keep it together, because that's Rogers we've had good success with this year as well, but I've seen he's come back with a bit of a bang, so it'll be interesting. But
me too.
Folter we trust. He's that should be a good matchup, and Folter's someone who I do trust to keep us in a game for 6-7 innings, and keep the scoring relatively down. Wednesday,
I would say there's a high probability that Folter has his best ever start against these Marlins, because against lefties, it is just, I don't know how, because they've got so many power righty hitters, the Marlins, but against lefties, it just never happens.
I'm pretty, that game 2, I'm very confident of. With the way Folter's been going, I would really expect Folter to go a good 6-7, great. Because let's be honest, he's an opener. That's what he came in for. And he's starting to get more innings under his belt and look better and better. He's starting to turn into a decent 4-5 rotation guy. Certainly better than Syndergaard.
Yeah, we haven't probably got time to get into Syndergaard.
No,
but I know
he's dire, turgid, duff, rubbish.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for him, hasn't it, with the Phils? What about then on Thursday? Because this, from a Marlins perspective, listen, we pretty much only tune in. Yeah, once every 5 days is when you get some eyeballs on. Sandy's going. Gibby on the mound. Your boy Gibby, you're big pals with him.
My big boy Gibby. Look, yeah, he got blown up last game. Lasted 1.2 innings. He has that every 4-5 games. He was due. And funny enough, against the D-backs, we joking along saying, hang on, he's gone 4 really good games. He's due a bad one, and it certainly was. Expecting a full bounce back from Gibby. I'm not too worried. Sandy, we've actually had the measure of this season. We haven't feared. We haven't done much against Sandy, but we've got him out the game early and got into your bullpen just by taking him deep in counts. I fully expect that to be a low-scoring game, just to get Sandy deep into counts and get him out again, because it's worked every time so far this season.
Yep.
We don't need to, we know that your bullpen isn't good. So we know if we can get in there, especially by game 3, where hopefully it's been used a bit. Same again. Gibby, I'm confident Gibby will be on a bounce back. It's very, very rare he goes. If I haven't even seen it this year, him go 2 bad games back to back. So Gibby bounce, we need it. We need all these 3 pitches to go 6-7 innings. Need it. We've got to save that bullpen.
So you're going, from what I've taken here, you've got Phillies winning 2 of the 3.
2 of 3.
That's my takeaway.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's all we need. Sweet bonus, but we can't lose this series. This fan base is in meltdown.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're overall, as we look ahead now, and we've got another series ourselves next week, which will be fun. Looking at this wildcard hunt in general, really, you've got 3 teams going for 2 spots. That's how I see it anyway. You boys, Padres, Brewers. Brewers 2 games back right now, which isn't,
Well, if you include the tie-break 3, we have the tie-break over, which is vital.
Okay, so let's say 2 plus a tie-break, games back, which makes it 3 in reality. Okay, so with that being said, which 2 are going to make it? Which 2 are going to land in the wild card? And if it's going to be the Phils, they're going to be the wild card 2 or the 3 when all said and done?
Wild card 3. I'll take it. I'll be honest. I think the Brewers, since that Hader trade, they've since the trade deadline, they've not been the same team.
Burns hasn't been either, by the way.
Like a couple of their games, the Padres haven't either. In fact, none of us have really. But the Padres is funny one. Like
Yeah.
with Soto going in, Josh Bell, who would all have in our team as well. You know, he's a
100%.
great player. And Hader going there as well, and he's been blown up left, right, and center. I don't know what's going on with the Padres. They bottled it last year as well, didn't they? In quite
They did.
dramatic style. But I still think by the fact that the Brewers don't just seem to be that good. And they've got the Yankees, the Mets, and then the Braves, I think, coming up next week. So they're, in fact, the same time as we enter our stage with the Jays and the Braves sandwich. So we're both got tough schedules at the same time. But I still think we should be on paper. I know baseball's not played on paper, but we should be technically far better than the Brewers. I think we're a far better team than the Brewers. I think we'll get the job done over them. I'll take the wild card free spot. I do not want to go to New York for a wild card series. Cardinals, we've got a tie break over them. We do well against the Cards, actually, especially at Busch Stadium. So I'd fancy us against the Cards. I don't fancy playing the Mets at New York. Braves are winning this division. The Mets have bottled it and have blown it. I think they're going to keep coming back. And if we play the Mets and knock them out, it'll be the best series of my life.
Wow, that would be sensational. Phillies Mets, I think, would be immense.
Oh, it would, we haven't got a player now for the rest of the season, and they've had our number every single series we played in this year. But you get to the postseason, all your regular stats mean absolute jack. Throw it out the window, the records, the home runs, everything, because it's postseason. You can't go by your regular stats because anything can happen in postseason. And in the words of Kevin Keegan, I would love it if we got one over the Mets in the wild card and stick that trumpet up where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, you've not been a fan of the trumpet. I think that's fair to say.
I'm done with it. Over you. Yeah, first time. Yeah, it's all right. Fair play. But bloody every time you wake up and you see on Twitter, just keep it to yourself. Stop putting it out. I'm sick of it, and I want to see something else. I want to hear the trumpet. Diaz come in and Rhys Hoskins hit a 2-run bomb off him. And they blow and save and they crash out the wild card. What a scenario. Absolute scenes.
The funny thing is, it's all building up to that. Like, you can see it coming a mile off. With this, the trumpet adds pressure now. Like, it probably was a bit of fun and a bit of hype, but now it's got so much momentum, so much hype. That it's going to end. It's going to end badly. You just know it. You just know it.
It's got to, surely. They're going to mess it. But we're the Phil, so who knows? But this rivalry has been cooking. And, Keith Hernandez putting his right finger in and really stoking the fire between the two teams has been fun, but it's really stoked it up. Us and the Mets, there hasn't been a dull series this year. Even though they've had our number all year, it's been some lively. It's been bubbling nicely. And this rivalry is really starting to come alive. And, I don't want him in the wild card. I want him in the division. I want 5 games against this bunch. But
yeah,
if it's the wild card at New York, all 3 games at New York, it's going to be
so be it. It is what it is. One final one, Dave, and then we'll get out of here. Your one player to watch for the Phils this series. Who's going to be the MVP for the Phils in this series against the Marlins?
Do you know what? I thought about this question beforehand. I was going to say Bryson Stott, but for some bizarre reason, I'm not starting him. Gene Segura.
Oh, mean Gene.
Absolutely light scorching at the moment. Lighting the ball defensively and at the bat. Just constantly get on base. Him and Stott were just back to back in the lineup, constantly both getting on base. We just couldn't get him in. That's why I want to see him at 1 and 2. You got to put those at 1 and 2, and then put Bryce Harper back up to the 3 spot because you want to get the runs on the board, and Bryce Harper is the one getting them in. Segura and Reese, Schwarber and Reese aren't doing it at the top of the lineup at the moment, but I'm going to go a little bit left wing. JT is the obvious answer. Bryce is going to keep getting on base. He has been. He's starting to get his eye more and more, but I'm going to go Gene Segura, and when Bryson Stott comes back, those two as a little double whammy, double S and S. Yeah, brilliant.
Love it. Love it. Well, that's going to wrap us up today, guys, on Tuesday's episode of Locked On Marlins. Dave, for those that aren't following you yet on Twitter and that don't have the graphics to help them, they may be listening, where can everyone follow along with you on Twitter?
I am at UK Phillies.
Yes,
and come join us for the daily roller coaster. And Pete, if we lose this series on Thursday, just I'm not coming. I'm telling you now, I'm not coming on.
You have to next week because we got another series, mate.
Yeah, I'll come on next week, but I can't take a loss.
We'll let sleeping dogs lie after this series if it goes sideways for you. And from a Marlins perspective, just to kind of wrap up very briefly, we really, Sandy needs to have a bounce back after getting blown up to some sense against the Braves. Sandy will be looking to bounce back and just solidify this Cy Young. I think he is still clearly the favorite, but big game for him on Thursday. No UK friendlies for me or Dave, so pain for us. Nevertheless, guys, it's Locked On Marlins on Tuesday. Peter Pratt, Dave Shaw signing out. And of course, guys, it's a daily pod. We're back tomorrow.